So JavaScript has several different ways of handling events, and so far we've pretty much focused on using HTML attributes. And this week you're going to learn a couple different ways, better ways actually, of handling events. And you're going to want to make sure you read Chapter 6 in your book and then go through the Chapter 6 key concepts because there are an awful lot of examples in here. Also, some of the examples from the book are in here as well. And for each section, there is a video that kind of walks you through and explains everything to you. For those of you who prefer to read it on your own, that's fine. Just realize there are videos for all the sections that kind of walk through the code and the concepts and explain everything in pretty great detail. So they're at the top of the various sections. And there are quite a few examples that you can actually click on. So there'll be little code snippets here, and then if you want to see the full-blown page that was used, you would just click here, and then you can play around with it, right-click, view the source code. Once you get done reading through that and kind of playing with the interactive examples, you're going to work on your programming lab assignment. And as always, we start by creating folders for this particular week. And the first exercise requires that you download quite a few things to your various folders. And what I've done is created a video that shows you how to complete the tasks in a similar file, not the Windchill file, but a similar file. It's basically the same thing you're going to be doing here, but it's the BMI file instead of the Windchill file. Okay, so I would watch that because people tend to make this way more complicated than it needs to be. And really converting from the HTML attributes to the DOM event handlers is not complicated. So basically the video shows you what you need to do in task 2, and it also covers what you need to do in task 3, because task 3 requires modifying what you had in task 2. For task 4, you are going to create your own little animation similar to Zeppo's World. So I included a link to the video from the Chapter 6 Key Concept lecture that explains all of that code, because you're going to need to do something similar. For the last section, this is basically for you to become familiar with the browser object model events and properties. And you can do one page or several pages. Okay, it doesn't matter to me how you configure it, but your requirements are to use 2 window objects, 1 location object method, display window information, navigator information, all of that fun stuff. In the lecture demo, there were several examples, and I took those examples and linked them in here. And as a side note, just remember, it's asking you to use history object properties. There is only one property, and that is length. So I didn't include a link to that. If you're not familiar with how to use it, you can go back and look at the chapter lecture. And there's a very short example that shows you how to use that. Okay, so that is the assignment. If you run into any problems or if you have questions, please transfer your pages and then throw me an email and I will go look at it. And have a great week. After you finish that assignment, I should mention, I did put some extra credit in here from your unit test. There were just a couple questions that people missed. So I created, you can either use the PDF or the Word, but you kind of just have to go through here and answer the questions. And again, these are kind of geared towards what people missed, but you can get 5 points extra credit for that. And then we do have an industry night out this week. And so if you attend, all you have to do is write a little short summary of what you learned at the event and submit it to the Dropbox. So by short summary, I mean 1 or 2 paragraphs. You do not have to write a full-blown paper for this, okay? Because attending the event is primarily what we wanted you to do. Okay, so go ahead and submit that if you attended, and you can get extra credit for that as well.